Good morning. I'm Jeanette Millin Young, your senator, your voice, your advocate in the 29th legislature. Today I speak with you about the Transfer Day commemoration and the feelings it invokes. As a writer, I have had the privilege of interviewing people and writing about Transfer Day activities over the years. I've learned that March 31st, 1917 was a day of jubilation, of sadness, of uncertainty, and of much change. Jubilation because there were those who said the people and the territory suffered under the Danish rule. Some felt sadness because they had prospered and done quite well under that same rule. And all felt uncertainty because no matter where you stood, you knew what you had, but you didn't know what you were getting. The only thing that was certain regarding the transfer of our territory 95 years ago was that the United States Virgin Islands would be facing socio-political changes that we as a people still did not have much control over. The beautiful thing about that era, though, is that the children born around that time later went on to become the generation that developed the society of democracy that we know today. On this day, however, many perceive that the very fabric of our democratic society seems to be disintegrating before our very eyes. Everywhere I go, I hear cries of desperation and pleas for principled and committed leadership. Well, leadership by its definition means having the ability to organize a group or groups of people to achieve a common goal. That has the best opportunity to become reality when the element of fear is not present. There are many factors contributing to the palpable anxiety being experienced by thousands in our community. It is mostly due in part to the fear of losing their jobs that they have held on for so many years, both in the private and the public sector. The uncertainty, while different from our ancestors in 1917, is no less disconcerting for me to face as a leader. While I wish I possessed a magic wand to make it all better at once, we must all face the reality that we must come together as a community to make positive change for our territory. The same way the generations who took over the reins to finally phase out the naval regime to empower and lead ourselves in the 1950s, so today, this generation must do the same, recognizing the day and age in which we live. Indeed, as Frantz Fanon wrote in 1961 in The Wretched of the Earth, each generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it, or betray it. This generation, as we reflect on the 95th anniversary of the transfer, must realize that our prosperity and our destiny is up to us. No one will fix our problems. We must do it ourselves. Just Wednesday, I had one of the most fulfilling moments in my career when I participated in a discussion with students of the current VI Housing Authority Youth Build program on St. Thomas. I believe the students and staff of the program who sat in on my talk at the Oswald Harris Court Public Housing Grounds left as fulfilled as I did. Not only did we speak about the history of women in non-traditional roles, of which few have accomplished a lot of note, but we also spoke of the virtues of socialization, networking, and capturing the opportunities in life to learn and do good by others. That lesson came to life when at the end of the session, as a result of a casual conversation, one of the students was offered a job. You see, while we go about life sometimes thinking that there's no hope for tomorrow, things are just getting worse, just ask yourself, what role did you play to change that direction? Did you sit quietly, waiting for someone to either offer you a hand or speak on your behalf, or did you take the plunge and go after your goals and objectives with all of your might? Remember that no matter how bad you may think things are, there's always tomorrow. For just as in nature, when the gray clouds lead to pouring rain, the sun always rises again. Play a role in your destiny. One of the ways you can effect change in our community is through legislation. How, you may ask? Call your senators with your comments and suggestions. You can always reach me at 693-3525 or by my cell at 514-0098. On this Transfer Day weekend, I leave you with the words I ended my first weekly broadcast in June 2010. It was written during the Nazi Germany atrocities. First, they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. Think about it. I'm Jeanette Millin Young, your senator, your voice, your advocate in the 29th legislature.